After being the most requested villain in the series by far, I thought it would be a good idea to make this video. Darth Maul is the second most, so that's what next week's video is going to look like. However, if you have a different preference, feel free to comment who you'd like to max out the most right now. I'm getting fairly close to maxing them all out, so once that's said and done, videos like these will be shooting out like Taco Bell after 20 gallons of laxatives. I have to choose between pumping out these videos and utilizing double and triple XPs to the best of my advantage. I have no idea if I'll be the first one, but I won't lie to you, it would be pretty cool. So, you want to know how to max out the Roderick Heffley of Star Wars, Kylo Ren, undoubtedly one of the most vicious heroes in Battlefront 2. One that has made me go more times than you can imagine. His intensity and sheer metal vibe is almost unrivaled in every game mode he is available. He is incredibly flexible and can handle various encounters with ease. Even the actor who plays Finn understands.
Hi players, this is John Boyega, and this is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Whether dominating the multiplayer Battlefront as Kylo Ren.
If you're looking to give your Kylo that snazzy max level logo, while also being taught how to curb stomp your enemies, well, let's say that you haven't come to the wrong place, as in the next 10 or so minutes, I will be showing you how to make this happen. However, I won't sugarcoat things for you because this is the most difficult guide yet for a few reasons, so make sure you soak in all the information this video has to offer. Alright, let's cut straight into it. To begin this guide, your Kylo needs to be at least level 25 and have purple cards for 3 specific cards, those being Closing In, Bloodlust, and Harsh Pull. With this configuration, we're going for high offense against infantry, as with Bloodlust and Harsh Pull, Kylo will combo much smoother. With Closing In, we'll be able to reach the enemy faster and chain into the next 2 victims faster. It increases his leap distance with Frenzy by a considerable amount. This card is a game changer on more open-ended maps. However, on maps like the MC-85 Star Cruiser and the First Order Star Destroyer, it can be cycled for total control. This is a card that makes his freeze last longer and helps you handle large groups of close quarters enemies. It can also be utilized as a means of retreat if you're low on health and need to turn back to run. Once you have this star card loadout set up, go to Settings, then Audio, and change your language to German. This makes Kylo Ren sound 80 billion times more badass.
Los Entdecker hat die Karte zu Skywalker. Ich hab, was ich wollte. Gehört Ihnen. Räumen Sie hier auf.
Next, you want to head over to the Co-op category and select the First Order until you get one map. That map is Takodana. Now, I know you're asking which Takodana. There's Maz's Castle and the MC-85 Star Cruiser. Well, it's the Star Cruiser, obviously, but you have to ask yourself the question, is Maz's Castle worth going with? Well, for any map you go to, there's a few factors that can really hinder things. The first being if you have a sweaty Palpatine on your team who's trying to grind out some levels just like you, he'll almost beat you to the kill and crowd control every map without even trying too hard. This kills your potential XP and ultimately sets you back time-wise. So the second factor is that you'll need at least some support from your teammates to survive. What really helps this process is having a friend who's willing to rock BB-9E at your side and play the support role for you, giving you back to between fights and using his right ability to decrease the cooldown on all of your abilities. So at the beginning of this guide, you'll need to have a balanced team to help you into things. But am I telling you that you'll always need them? No, I'm telling you that after you reach about level 400 using these tips, you won't need anyone. I'll be touching on 2 maps today, so if you prefer one over the other, you can skip to these points in the video. In a nutshell, you can walk away with a decent chunk of XP at Maz's Castle, but more often than not, the MC-85 Star Cruiser will be more beneficial to us. We'll also touch really quickly on Starkiller Base, because there's a simple way to level him up in a really short amount of time. So for this map, make sure you're running Bloodlust, Harsh Pull, and Total Control. It's a very close quarters map, so closing in won't do much good here. For the first objective, there will be 0 enemy heroes, and there will be minimal elite reinforcements, so it's safe to play this objective as aggressive as possible. Spawning in with Kylo, first aid your teammates on their chosen objective, and fight off any contesting it. Once this is done, do not wait and sit and cap the objective with them. Keep an eye on your radar and seek out any enemies lingering around the map. Most will be guarding the other objective, so if you have time for that, go right ahead. However, in most cases, if the map AI has been cleared, the next mass spawn will be inclined to rush the objective that you and your friends are guarding. In general, never stop moving. Within reason, always seek out enemies. This tactic is best used here, but for the next objective, you cannot be this greedy. After you've capped Objective 1, it's time for Objective 2. And unlike the last one, it's only one zone, so enemies will be super bunched up together and focalized. Don't get too excited though, because there's a 100% chance for there to be at least one hero to spawn here. Rey, Chewie, and BB-8 aren't too much of a problem. Later I'll tell you how to kill Rey every time, but Finn is the real complication here, because we rely on close quarters combat, and we thrive on the enemy being bunched up. Finn makes it almost impossible to rush a giant group like this and make it out alive. His middle ability gives all surrounding allies not only a health boost, but it also allows them to regenerate any lost health almost instantly for the duration of the ability. So whenever you see an infantry with yellow health in their health bar, do not engage. This means that a Finn is nearby. Finn is the enemy team's win condition, so you should always make it your top priority to eliminate him first. It will not only help you and your teammates, but also make the enemy team far weaker. As previously stated, there is a 100% chance for a hero to spawn at this objective, so there is always a 25% chance that it will be Finn. There are also 3 ways to enter from: the middle, the left, and right. With the middle, each enemy will be able to get an angle on you, so freezing or pulling here won't be the smartest play. However, this is good because it allows you to spot a Finn much faster than the left or right. And with the right entrance, it will be the least generous kill-wise. If you like the 75% no Finn odds, take the left side. Approaching the doorway, tap jump, and pull as many enemies as possible. Then launch Frenzy. This will give you considerable damage reduction and will finish the enemy much quicker than basic attacks. This combo will take some getting used to, but after a while it becomes second nature. After these abilities are spent, there's only so much you can do, and you'll have already lost a good chunk of health. So retreat back into the hallway and hug the left side. Once the room is clear, guard the objective with your teammates, and keep an eye on your radar. Once it shines bright red in front of you, wait about 3 to 4 seconds, then sprint through the door and pull anyone you can towards you. This lets you play the out of bounds timer more safe while you're getting the kills. Once they're dead, run back to the objective, but on your way, quickly jump and freeze the enemies to your right. Once you're back in the zone, dash back to the ones you've just frozen and finish them off with basic attacks. After capture, you want to lead your teammates to the objective of your choice. Assuming you guys can't communicate, they'll be more likely to follow you this way. In Objective A, there are a few ways you can fall off the map, but more enemies will be there. B is a lot safer and has more hiding places for you to regenerate, so it's all a matter of preference. This phase is a combination of the last two. There are 2 capture points, but there are also 2 heroes, so Finn is a 50-50 chance. As with the first objective, you want to play aggressive this time, but also be cautious for any heroes. If you get into any trouble, there are always many ways to hide and retreat behind cover. Try to never stop moving and use your abilities to the maximum extent. So just like you, the enemy AI has an out of bounds timer as well. So if you're having trouble like ever with a Rey, you can lead her back into your spawn and she will die within 10 seconds. But usually, like if you and your teammates are on her, it'll be kind of easy. The key is to make her block in the opposite direction of your teammates so they can get an angle on her while you're attacking. And if they go to attack your teammates, just attack her from behind. The final phase is the wild card for this map. It can either go really good or it can go bad, depending on the enemies you're facing. They'll all be focused on one point, so it's going to be difficult to munch into, because of how much you have to expose yourself to do so. The play here is to first make sure there isn't a Finn guarding, because if there is, you'll need to find a way to isolate him. This can be done by pulling him as far away from his allies as possible, or waiting until the buff turns off, then killing his teammates first. If there isn't a Finn, we'll do the same thing we did with Objective 2. Jump, pull, immediately freeze. You can do an air attack as well, and then once you land, frenzy after touching the ground, then retreat. Another tactic that works here is to isolate the Ovisian gunners, or the heroes, and freeze them, frenzying the other weak infantry, then retreating. Our job here is to keep thinning the ranks until you and your teammates have the numbers advantage. The sweet spot for this objective is to keep pulling as many possible towards you and finishing them with frenzy. Assuming you completed the last few phases quickly, you'll have plenty of time with this one, and that's what we want. It is no benefit to us to capture it before the timer goes to 0, because capturing it does not give us 3000 XP like the other ones do. So, to get a bit Machiavellian, Don't protect your teammates. This is about you getting your Kylo ripped. If you do clear out the zone, focus on your radar. The enemies can come out of two ways. Most will come from the left, so make sure you have your pull ready before engaging. Once you're done with a few on the left, make sure to jump above the HPCU and freeze any on the other side while still in the air. Your job is to crowd control and multitask as much as possible. Don't forget to watch out for that yellow health in their health bar. If you see that, move off the objective or try to isolate Finn. When the match ends, you should be walking away with around 60 to 70,000 XP. Not to worry if you don't get that high in the first couple of games. You'll have plenty of opportunities and ways to improve. And don't be afraid to refer back to the video if you get stuck. For Starkiller Base, it's essential that you get the hero as quick as possible. The heavy classes work best for me, but you can choose whatever you're comfortable with. Once you have Kylo, clear the enemies off the objectives as fast as you can. If you find there to be too many at any one objective, pull a chunk off and feed them to your teammates, while freezing the main threats like gunners and heavies and using frenzy to finish off the weaker ones. You do not want to go to the second phase. The real reason we're here is because of one spot that is located at the out of bounds zone, straight ahead of A. Keep an eye on your radar, and once a chunk near you glows red, wait around 4 seconds. Jump, then flick left mid-air, freezing the whole group. Once you land, launch Frenzy. Any who survive can be finished off with your basic attacks. However, don't get too carried away, as you only have 10 seconds to make this happen. After you've finished with them, quickly make your way to Objective B and lead with your pull. Spend about 10 to 20 seconds here because you want to utilize the spawn for A as long as the clock will allow. And for Starkiller Base, it's that simple. By the end of the match, you should be sitting around 25 to 30,000 XP. Now, why does the MC-85 Star Cruiser and Starkiller Base work above the rest? Well, let's first assume that your Kylo is level 25 and you want to level him up 975 times as quick as possible. Well, that's 24,375,000 XP, and technically 406 games on the MC-85. If you average about 60,000 XP every 10 minutes, that means that your max level Kylo is less than a 3-day grind away, assuming you're not on double or triple XP. Starkiller Base matches usually only last 4 minutes, so if you can crank out 30,000 XP, you're way ahead of the game. And that's how you max out Kylo Ren in 3 days. It's easier said than done. Just remember that during the hard times, I've been there too, and you will get better at managing crowds and dealing with enemy heroes. It just takes practice and dedication. Well, this is where I say thank you guys for watching and remind you to like and subscribe. I'm so happy with how this channel is doing recently, and it's 100% because of you guys. I hope this video helps, and I hope you check out the others as well. Again, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.